All right, hey everyone, this is Jason back with you here for week one of the Mortgage Marketing Mastery program here. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what you can expect this week. So basically this is all about setting up your lead gen system. What that means is you'll be getting our exact templates for home buyers and home refi referrals. You'll get exactly the lead gen system we use. Now you're going to be using a couple different resources this week, which we're going to walk you through. There will be corresponding videos for all of this, so don't worry. Even if you're not tech, all up to date on technology or technology proficient, don't worry about it. We're going to give you everything, and then we're going to show you exactly what you need to do, what actions, what buttons to click. And then, of course, we'll have some support for you as well if you need it. But bottom line is you're going to be using a few resources this week, landing page software that we use. Again, we're going to walk you through that and show you exactly what that means. And then you're going to be using a domain registrar. You might have used this before. This is where you're actually going to buy a domain name, basically a website address. And then also we're going to show you how to set up a call tracking number, and we'll tell you why that's important as well. Now, again, if you need help during any of the process, watch the videos as many times as you need to. Again, we'll have a weekly Q&A call. I put a time on here, but actually there is no time specifically. So let me just change it right now. But bottom line is the times that we have for the call will be posted in the Facebook group. All right, so just pay attention to those times. We don't want to keep it a hard time. We want to be as flexible as we need for our members, but most of the time it will probably be on a Thursday, because whatever, just to keep it consistent. So, but the calls are recorded, and we'll be using some software that allow you to share your screen and see a screen as well. So you'll be able to we'll actually be able to help you troubleshoot if you need help there on the calls. There's also the Facebook group that you can post anything, anytime, and we can help you there. And then also our support email, again, is contact@mmmsupporthelp.com. Anything that you don't want to share on a call or post in the group, feel free to just reach out to us there, and we can troubleshoot whatever it is, whatever issues you're having, and help you get progressing along. So, all right, that's it. So with that, you can go ahead and dive into the first video of week one. All right, cheers. All right, here we are with video number one of week one, where we will be actually starting the process of getting our lead gen system all set up. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to grab a website domain, and that's just simply a website address. Whatever it is, like this is Namecheap, www.namecheap.com. We want to grab a website address for our kind of mini website we're going to be building. I use Namecheap, and that's what we're going to be demonstrating through the videos on how to set that up with our landing pages. Some people maybe use GoDaddy. It doesn't matter what you use, but again, I'm going to be showing instructions through Namecheap. I do like Namecheap because the domains tend to be a little bit cheaper, at least that I've seen. Plus, you can use a coupon right away. So for this demonstration, we're using Namecheap for the hookup. And all we're going to do is what we want to do is we want to find a kind of a website address that we'd want to use that kind of makes sense for what we're doing. So again, we're going to be walking through setting up a home buyer funnel, or excuse me, a home buyer system, and then also another system that's kind of set up to find to get people who want to refinance their homes. So I like to keep it very simple. We'll just for the example all the way through, we're going to be using home buyers because the setup is the same. There's nothing different for if we're going to do the refi in terms of the actions that we're going to take. So in this example, I need to find a website address for my home buyer kind of lead generation system. So I'm going to I like to use stuff like let's see, it's like Smart Home Buyers Pasadena, maybe, for if, whatever that might be, whatever your city might be. or smart home buyer programs. Maybe that's something that we want to try to get. Maybe if you're a mortgage company and you want to maintain your branding, or you want to maintain your company branding, maybe your Sunshine Mortgage Home Buyer Programs, maybe something like that. So, for this example, don't get too hung up on it. Just try to get something that's somewhat related. So let's just do, I'm going to do Smart Home Buyer Programs. I'll keep it kind of general. And then we're just going to search, and what we want to do is we're looking for a .com. Don't even think twice about it. We're going to get a .com. If we can't get a .com, we need to pick a different name. And you can see here with the little check mark that smarthomebuyerprograms.com is available. So that's perfect. So we'll use that in this example. If you've got a red X, or if it said this domain is available and it's a much higher price than this $10.69, like when I mean high price, you'll see something that's like $2,500 or something like that. Just move on and pick a different name, because again, we want something that's a .com. And also, it should just be normal price. If you see a higher price, that means someone else bought it and they're just trying to sell it. So there's plenty of domain names out there. So just pick something else until you can get one that you want that makes sense. All right. So for this smart home buyer programs, I want to go ahead and add it to the cart. And then, all right, there it is. It's going to add there. And I'm just going to go ahead and view cart. Okay, there's nothing we need to change. There's nothing else we need to do here. But like I said, there is a site. It's actually on Namecheap.com. We're going to go over there to it. /promos/coupons. You can see right here, up here in the website address. It's a site, or it's through Namecheap, and they offer monthly coupons. So you can see this one's valid for this month. It'll change every single month. But we're looking for the one that says discounted registration. So I'm just going to highlight this and copy it. I'm going to come back to my cart and paste that in. Right, yeah. And then I'm going to apply. Okay. All right, and so it's telling me I need to log in or create an account. So if you don't have an account, just go ahead and create it right here. It's real easy. It's just going to ask your information. I have a login, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in real quick, and I'll just I'll pause and then come right back in as soon as I'm logged in. Okay, I'm back, and as soon as I logged in, you can see it just went ahead and applied the program, or excuse me, applied the promo code. So you can see now my price is $9.84, and that's it. So once I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm order. It's going to have me actually go through and pay. So I won't I won't show you that part. You'll end up just paying with a credit card, or you can do PayPal, whatever you want to do. But basically, once you create your account, it'll bring you right back to the or log in, whatever it is. If you already have a Namecheap account, it'll bring you right back to the cart, and it'll apply your coupon. If you don't see it applied and your price reduced, just go back and reapply it, and then yeah, confirm the order and pay, and then we're all done with this video. So going forward, I'm going to be using this domain. But again, once you complete this step, there's nothing else we need to do. Once you purchase it, we're gonna move to the next step. So if you get caught up trying to pick a name, we don't want you to get don't spin your wheels too much on this. This is just a small part of the whole process, but we want to go ahead and just knock this out so it's ready for us when we're ready for it. So just post in the group, drop if you get stuck and like, I have like 3 names in my head, just drop them in the Facebook group, and we can help give you some suggestions to help you get through this little step here. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and just complete my purchase, and then, yeah, we'll see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to go over setting up a call tracking number. So first, what is a call tracking number? We simply want to use a call tracking number to know that a call came from a specific place, in particular our lead generation system. So here's the scenario. You're out, you're networking, you have your business card and you're flashing it out to 100 people, and then you also have this lead gen system that you're setting up, and you have your phone number there and you're running, you're running Facebook traffic to it, you're running ads on Google AdWords, and you get a call and it comes in, and you're excited, and you say, hey, how can I help you? And you get the talking with them, and you hopefully get them processed through to start a relationship with them. Well, here's the thing: we don't know where that call came from. Was it a call that came from your business card that you handed out at some networking meeting? Was it from your online internet ads? We don't know. So what we recommend using, this is it's going to be optional. However, if you can spring for it, we should definitely highly suggest using a call tracking number on your landing pages here in your lead generation system, so that you know that if a call gets generated, you'll be able to tell where it came from. You'll be able to tell if it came from your internet ads or not. The reason being is we're spending some money on some internet ads to get people coming through. Most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, actually over 97% of the time, people are just going to fill out the form on your website that we're going to be setting up. They're just going to fill out the form, right? And then you're going to end up contacting them. However, there are going to be some people that just want to call and just call and talk to you, without filling out the form. So we want to know where they come from. Again, this is optional because this is another kind of a mini expense, but and it's something that's not terribly high on the priority list. But again, we want to show you this in case you do want to get down to the the details to know exactly where your calls are coming from. So what we use is a site called callfire.com, and you see it right here. There are plenty of services that do this. We have just been using Callfire for our history of generating leads online for businesses, which spans several years. So, but there are definitely other companies out there. I do want to show you the pricing, because what I pay, I've been grandfathered in because I've had an account for so long. I want to say I've had it for like 4 years now. That the pricing is a little different. So let's just look at this pricing real quick, because it's definitely different than what I'm paying. You'll see all these different plans and stuff. All we're going to be doing is the pay as you go. So there's no monthly fee, so we're not paying any of these fees here. But we will be renting a phone number, which looks like it's going to be $10 a month, right? So don't worry about anything else, but that's what it appears to be. We'll have to verify that. But it looks like it's going to cost you $10 a month for a phone number. We're just going to need one phone number, and you'll only pay anything extra if it'll come with some minutes automatically. The only time you would pay extra than this is if we need to, if for whatever reason you have many calls and the minutes that you talk exceed what the allocation you're given. But if that's the case, if you're having that many calls, then business is probably pretty good, and you don't care whether you're paying this $10 and the 5 cents extra per minute, so, or whatever the extra cost is. So, all right, with that, let's just go through, and I'm actually going to go ahead and log in and just show you how easy it is to buy a phone number, and we'll walk through that process on how to buy a phone number and then set it up for call tracking. Okay, here we are in the account, and all I did was block out some. We have a lot of clients in here, so we just want to make sure that those are protected. Those numbers are protected. But basically, over here is a phone numbers tab. You're just going to click phone numbers, and then right up here at the top, you'll see a little button that says buy numbers. So I'm just going to click that, and this is how easy it is. You just go to search by area code. You can search by a city. You're just going to find something that matches where you are. So, I'm here in California. I'm actually just outside Los Angeles. So, actually, I guess I'm in Los Angeles. But so actually, let's just do that. I'll do Los Angeles. Most of the time, what I'll do for when I'm setting these up for clients is I'll just use their area code, and then just find a number there. But I'll just pick a city. I'm just going to use the city example. And here we go. It's going to start giving me some numbers. Basically all I'm going to do is just pick a number that I want. I like to pick something that, you know how it goes when you're trying to remember a phone number. You know, there's some that just kind of roll off the tongue a little easier, that are easy to remember. I try to pick up one of those. Again, I usually will do by the area code. A lot of times when you try to fill in this extra block here, it limits the. Sometimes it doesn't bring up anything, but you can usually always find a number in your area code. So I usually do that to make it match with whatever the client normally has. But anyway, since we're just kind of setting this up, 323-905-0095. I mean, that would be pretty easy for someone to remember. Not that they need to, but I don't know. That's just something I have. So anyway, I want to get this number. I'm just going to click it. And it says selected numbers. And then down here, let me see if we can get this. This green button says purchase numbers. I'm just going to purchase. All right, and then you can see here, it just has it up here. It already automatically adds some minutes or some credits. Sorry, it'll come with some credits already. This is just if I want to add some extra credits. I can add them right here for another, 3 cents a pop. It may offer you that because normally they're a little bit higher priced. So you can pick up some extra credits here pretty cheap. But again, what comes with the phone number in general is typically going to be fine. I already have payment information and already has all that stuff in there. So I literally, all I have to do is, if I want to add the credits, I can. I'm not going to in this case. I got my number. And it's just going to show me, 1 month. It just goes month to month. You can cancel this at any time. I'm just going to check here that I read the terms, and I'm just going to confirm my purchase. And that's simple, right? So I've purchased my number, wherever it is here. Okay, so I purchased my number, and I'm just going to come down here and go to configure call tracking. Okay, so it brought me to a list here. Here's my number over here. I'm sorry, I kind of blurred things out because it pulls up every number that you own. But I'm just going to put the check mark next to the number I just purchased. For you, it's probably going to be the only number there. I'm going to hit add. So there it is. There's the number I just bought. And there's a little next. I'm going to hit next. All right. And all we're going to do, there's nothing else we need to do here, is up here, configure numbers individually. I'm going to put the number I want this number to forward to, right? So I'm typically just going to put my phone number, right? So I'm not going to put my phone number here, but I'll put it in the same format as it is listed here. So I'll just go, whatever to say, 232-323-905-0096, whatever my phone number is that I want this to ring. So what's going to happen is this is what I'm going to list on my landing pages. This is what I'm going to use in any kind of posts that I do or whatnot. On Google, whatever it is, this is the number I'm going to be listing on my internet ads. So, and when they call, if someone calls this number, it's going to forward to whatever number I put in here. So it's going to forward to me. In this example, I'm going to have it go to my phone number, which this is not my phone number, so don't call it. But anyway, and then what will happen is when someone calls this number, it gets tracked in CallFire here. So then I know that someone called from this number, that it was my call tracking number that they called from. That way I know that it came from, I have this right here on my lead generation system, so I know that this lead came from there, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK. Okay, there's nothing else I need to do there. It's going to stay blank, but my number is in there. You can have this option here, record all calls, if you want. You can check it and uncheck it, whatever you want to do. Let's just say I'm going to record every call that comes through. And then right here is going to say receive an email notification on any text or calls that come in. I like to leave that checked. Basically, when you set your account, you'll have like a notification email, or your email that you set up for the account. This right here is just saying that whenever a call happens or if someone texts to that number, CallFire will send you an email just to let you know, just to let you know for tracking purposes. I like to leave it checked. and then you just hit finalize, and that's it. Okay, and that's it. Once you have your number, it's all taken care of here. What I like to do here is, you can see it up at the top. It'll say pending, and that's just, it's going to say that just until you get your first call or text or whatever. For labels, I like to just say what it is. Whatever. You may say, just click it. There, now I got a tag, you see it, and hit apply. And that's it. You're good to go. And it shows my phone number, the tracking phone number, and then the transfer number, where it's going to transfer to when someone does call. And it's pretty instant, so no one on the other line will notice. And you actually won't notice either, because it doesn't tell you. There are some other configurations that'll let you know that that it's coming from whatever. You can add little recordings that'll say, hey, this is your call tracking number. But if whatever number you're using the transfer is ideally your business number anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you'll get that email and you can see like, oh, okay, cool, this actually came from the call tracking number on CallFire. Plus it tracks it in the dashboard here. So like if I click on this number, it'll tell me my call summary. It'll tell me all the calls that came in, what date, what time of the day. It'll just give you a bunch of analytics. If you did the call, the call recording, for the call records here, it'll list every call that you got, and then you'll be able to click on each call, and if they left a message, you'll be able to listen to the voicemail, the recording. If you check that there will be a recording, you'll be able to listen to it here. You'll see it. And then if there's any texts that come in, you'll be able to see that. Definitely a lot of other things you can do, but we set up the basic way and everything you need to know. So, all right. We're good to go, and we can move on to the next step. All right, here we are in the next video, and this one is pretty exciting. This is where we actually get to build our, the foundation of our lead generation system. So this is ultimately what it's going to look like, and here's the deal. This is already working. This is converting as high as 50%. Depending on, we can show you that it'll be some of the different traffic sources and the way we set up the traffic, just converting at ridiculous amounts. So you don't need to do anything but do some of the changes that we're going to show you, and you'll be good to go. We got it down to such a very simple process that literally you could just be able to take these templates and plug and play with your own information and start running start generating leads. I mean, it's really that simple. So this is what the end goal is going to be, your page here. But what we need to do is we need to get you set up with essentially the software that we use to create this template. That way you can edit it yourself and be able to use this yourself. It'll be yours, and then you can do what you want to do with it. And again, we'll show you what that means. But we're going to be using a software called ClickFunnels. Let's see here. Let me just go to ClickFunnels. Okay, what ClickFunnels is that now there's plenty of software, plenty of different software and things out there. This is the only major software that you'll need. And the cool thing is you'll get a 14-day free trial, right? So, and the most basic plan is pretty cheap. I don't remember how much it is. We have the most expensive plan, which is like $300 a month, but it pays for itself over and over and over again. The basic plan is not even close to that, so don't worry about that. But bottom line is it's a drag and drop website builder essentially, but we're going to show you the most basic easy steps that you need to use this. And it all starts with below the video you'll see below the video you will see our basically links to these funnels here. So what does that mean? Is that you'll see it called a share link. So there will be two of them. I'm going to pull them up on text here. We have the home buyer link and then the home refi link. So this is the buyer, and this is what we want you to use initially during the setup, because this is the one that's going to generate you the most referrals right away. And this is the one we're going to use in all the examples, right? So all you have to do is, if you already have a ClickFunnels account, then you're good. Just log in and go ahead and click the link for the home buyer one, and it'll automatically populate for you. If you don't have a ClickFunnels account already, you're still going to click on the link and it's going to have you set it up. So let me show you what that looks like. So what it's going to do when you use the links here that we have, it's automatically going to take what we've already created here and just automatically put it into your account. So you don't have to build anything from scratch. You're literally going to start with this, right? So let me show you what that looks like. So let me go back to I'm going to close out ClickFunnels. All right. All right, I'm going to put in buyer. And so when I click it, or when I add it in, you'll just click it. I'll show you what it does here. It's going to have you create an account if you don't already have one. All right, so let me pause this video. Right, so what's happened here is you're going to see this little page. It's going to say right here, Jason McKim has shared this funnel with you. And it'll basically, obviously this is what you'll see if you're not already logged in and not already a ClickFunnels member. It'll have you just create an account real quick, which is just email and password, and then it's going to be a 14-day free trial, right? So no big deal. So it's not going to cost you anything, and then it's automatically going to put this funnel. This is what it's going to be called, the MMM Mortgage Pre-Approval Quiz funnel. It's going to put these pages into your account automatically, right? And I'll show you what that means in just a second. But this is all you have to do. So you'll click the link, and it works the same for the refi, but go and just start with the buyer. Click the link, and it's going to bring you to this page. You'll know it's from me because it'll say my name right here, Jason McKim, and it says has shared this funnel with you. That's why you know it's from us, and it'll be this funnel name. And again, you're just going to create your account. It's really that simple. And then what's going to happen is, actually wrong window. You're going to, let me just try to get in here. All right. This is what the inside of the dashboards are going to look like of your ClickFunnels account once you get set up. You'll end up seeing your the funnel that I just shared, right? So let me look at it again. So unlock the MMM Mortgage Pre-Approval Quiz, and again, you'll see MMM Mortgage Pre-Approval Quiz right in your dashboard. So that's the goal, right? So you're just going to, again, here's the steps. Click the link. It's going to take you to this page. Go ahead and just sign up here. Again, it's a 2-week trial. Worst case is, we can get all this taken care of and you can, stop the trial. We can do something else after that. But go ahead and create your account. It's automatically going to take the home buyer's kind of funnel here, and it's going to automatically upload it to your account, right? That's the only steps you need to take. And then if you want, you can go ahead and do the same thing after you go ahead and take care of the buyer and then go through the process, go ahead and just do the refi, and you'll just skip the sign up. It'll automatically just add it in. So you won't have to sign up again. It'll just add it to your account here, right? So that's all that's happening in this step. Go ahead and do that. Set up your ClickFunnels account. If you have any problems, go ahead and just, again, reach out to us in the group, and we can help you get finished walking through this part, because you need to get your account set up and get these funnels in here, so that all you have to do is go in and modify them, which we're going to show you in the next video. All right, we will with that go ahead and knock this out, and then we'll see you in the next video. Okay, here we go. So now we're all set up. You have your ClickFunnels account set up, and you now have the funnels for the pre-approval and the refi in your account. And just, to clarify what a funnel is just simply a process. It's just a series of web pages, or essentially a process that takes a someone that's maybe a cold prospect and turns them into a lead. So in this case, our funnel is 2 pages for our buyer. It's also 2 pages for the refi, but they have a front page, which is basically a landing page that we're going to have our little application kind of form on here that they're going to fill out, and then it's going to take them to a thank you page once they complete the process. And that's essentially a funnel. It's just a 2-page funnel. So you may hear me use the word funnel quite a bit, and that's also mainly because of ClickFunnels here as well. Everything's a funnel for them. So all right, so down to the nitty gritty. Now we're gonna take our page and we're gonna make it our own. So we're gonna show you how to work inside ClickFunnels and make these few little changes. Because ultimately, if you look at it, there's a couple things that we're gonna do. Up here, this is where your logo is gonna go. So you probably already have a logo for your company or your brand, whatever it is. You're just gonna slap it up here. We're gonna show you how to do that. The call tracking number, that's what we're gonna plug in right here, right? So we have the call tracking number. The rest of this stuff is already pretty templated. You can leave this the way it is. You can read through it, see if it works for you. If not, we'll show you how to delete that. And then client testimonials, you can just upload those. We can show you if you have some pictures already on your website, or if you already have some on your website, you can literally just take a picture of your screen of right where the testimony is and just upload them here, right? So we can do that. Or we can show you how to put some text right here too, to put some testimonials. You're going to change your phone number down here again. Here we left some images here. This is if you have any kind of trust symbols, like you have a BBB A+ rating, or you're featured in a certain thing, you're whatever you have any symbols. Again, we'll show you how to delete that. If you don't, no big deal. And then down here, you're just going to change your company name. And then down here, you'll paste any kind of, you just kind of copy paste off your other main website, your company's website, or whatever it is. Any disclaimers, your required license number, anything down here, down in the footer, right? So we're going to show you how to do all that. On the thank you page, it's the same thing. You're just going to change out your logo, and then your phone number. And that's it. And then again, company info, company name here, and then again, you can just copy and paste your disclaimers and legal info down at the bottom, license number and all that. It's really that simple, right? So here's how we do it. So you're going to click on the mortgage pre-approval quiz, the MMM, whatever, the one in your funnel here. I'm actually going to click on this one because if I change that one, it'll change the one you guys all use. So once you save it, once you upload it to your account, it's yours. So like, it'll be yours. Any modifications you make doesn't change it doesn't change it for anyone else. So it'll just be yours. Right. So I'm going to walk you through this here because it can get, it's maybe confusing if you never have messed around with ClickFunnels or been in here or any kind of, landing page software at all. It's going to be more simple than it looks, right? Okay. So here's our 2 pages, right? So this right here, I got it called the HB quiz. That's this page, right? And then down here, the HB quiz thank you. If I clicked on that, that is actually this page, right? Okay. So we're just going to start with this page, the first page that people will land on. And we're just going to come down here and go to edit page. Real simple. Clicked on edit page. It's going to load. All right. This is where it's kind of fun. All right. So you notice all these little lines and everything that's kind of happening here as I move around, right? That's because these are like little blocks. They're like little things I can change and whatnot, right? So I'm going to give you the very basics that all you need. Now, ClickFunnels also has, they have a ton of little tutorials and stuff. And matter of fact, in the dashboard, there were some videos, some get started videos. But I'm going to give you everything you need to know right now, right? Because we already have everything set up, you're just going to be changing a few things, right? So here we have our logo. You're just going to click on it, and the only thing you really need to pay attention to is there's 2 things. There's this image URL. that is the picture that we're going to have here, right? So all we have to do to add a picture here, which is your logo, is what I suggest, is you're going to just hit this little plus sign and see where it says upload image here. You're just going to click that and find the file on your computer. That's all you're going to do, and then pick it, and it's going to put it here. I've already done that. I've already clicked upload image, and I already have my logo on my desktop. So I'm just going to click on my logo here. Again, the only difference is you're clicking upload image and then selecting your file, and you're going to wait for it to load, and then it's going to populate in here. Once it does, just click on it like I did, and then add image. Okay, and there's my logo right there. That's simple, right? Now, here's how you modify this. So we have some pre-settings in here that make it so that it is not too big, because people are going to be visiting this page a lot on their phones. So we don't want the logo too big. We want them to get down to the nitty-gritty as soon as we can. But this looks a little too small, right? A little weird. So I'm going to click back in here. See this orange square? I'm just going to click right here on the picture. It's going to open up that little sidebar again. And see where it says image height? We already populated the number 75 in there, right? It may be, you may or may not see a number here, but that's why our image is low. So I'm just going to click on the little arrow and raise it up until it gets to the size I want. See how it's growing there? All right. So let's make it and I can just click here and change. I'm going to do 150. And you can just play around with it until it's as big as you need it to be. All right? Okay. All right. So I have it here. Now, some other little quick tips here. All right. So this here is my image, right? You notice how there's a lot of space around here, right? So I can play around with this image here again. And since see right here it says margin, I can make that a little smaller if I want to. See how it moved up? Watch what happens when I change this. Change it. I'm going to change it to like 30. See how it drops down further? So I want it to be a little bit close. I want to eliminate a lot of that space up at the top. So I'm just going to reduce the margin to 0 from the image. All right, easy enough. Okay, there's also a little extra space here. So see this blue? That's kind of, it represents the row here. So I'm going to go to the blue next. Okay, here's my padding here. I'm just going to change that, right? I'm going to lower this padding. Again, you don't have to mess with this. I'm just doing this right now. I'm just kind of showing you some of these features. See how I just reduced it a little bit? So let me just go ahead and I'll eliminate the top padding. Okay, boom. And now I'm going to eliminate some of this bottom padding. See where it says bottom? It's going to eliminate a little bit of this space underneath the picture here. There, just like that. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to leave this for now. Don't get wrapped up in this. I just wanted to eliminate some space. If you have an issue with this, post in the group. We can help you figure it out. But again, all we did is upload an image. So now I have my logo, right? So there's nothing else I need to do up here. We recommend just leaving the verbiage the way it is for now, right? It's already working. This is already converting. If I wanted to change this, say it was 2016, I accidentally put 2016, I wanted to change this. You just click in it. Like, oops, all right, let me delete that and make it 2016. I'm going to click outside of it. There you go. See, each of these little orange squares is what you're kind of manipulating. So this is like a text block here. Another text block. Text block. See the blue out here? See where it says row? That's one row. So I can have a bunch of oranges in one row, right? Then you might have seen like a green. See that green? Green's a section. So I can put a bunch of rows in a section, and then within each row, I can have different little blocks, right? So that's, again, don't overthink this. Don't overthink this right now, or try to, don't get lost in this right now. I'm just kind of showing you some quick little things. If I want to, say I want this text a little bit bigger, I just click this little gear. For one, I can make this bold. I just click the bold, just like you're used to. If I can italicize that if I want. I can underline it. I can underline like a little section if I want. See that? I don't want any of that. Again, I'm not going to change it to anything. I'm just kind of showing you. If I want to change like the size and everything or the type of font, I can just click this little gear. It's going to open up the sidebar. And here's where it says font size. I can change that. I can make that a little smaller. All right, same thing with this. If this is a little bit too big for me, I can hit this little gear. And see the font size says 41. I'm gonna maybe make that 38. See, a little bit smaller. See that? I can also, if I wanted to change that type of font, I can change it here. Google font. There's just a million of them. Again, I wouldn't mess around with this too much at all, if at all. You literally have to do nothing. You can change. You just upload your logo and come down here. This we're going to come back to in week 2. This is where your application is going to go. So just leave this alone. Here's where you change your number, right? And I wrote my call tracking number down from the previous video. So I'm just going to put that in here now, right? So this is what I was talking about. So someone can just call me right now, right from this. And I want to know that it came from here and not, you know, some other place, not from my business card that I handed out at a meeting. What is it? 0095. There you go. That's simple. So if someone calls that's that call tracking number. It's gonna ring my phone, but it'll track and I know that's where it is. So, all right. And then let's scroll down. I just show you the rest of the page. This is just something we had put in there for the template we stole this from, that we modeled this after. We just kind of left some of this basic information that's kind of general. If this doesn't apply to you, if this doesn't make sense for you, that's fine. We're just going to have you delete it. I should take that back. If you want to change this, these are just images. These are just images. You can go somewhere. We can give you some sources if you want to have these, you know, say, hey, I have these, see these images? I want them, make them just like this, except for I want them to say this. And you can have like a designer make them. And we can show you, we can tell you some cheap, just ask in the Facebook group if you want to keep these, but you want the words to be different. We can give you some easy sources of designers that are pretty cheap that can do this for you probably in like 48 hours. So you can just replace out the images, and then it would be as simple as you just click on it, just like we did for the logo, hit the plus sign, and upload the new image. It would be that simple, right? If you don't want to do that, and you're like, this is cool, I like this, but I don't, you know, this doesn't fit me, and I don't want to waste the time trying to get something remade. You're just going to come up to this little green right here, just in this little area. That's the green for this section. See this trash can? You're just going to hit this trash can. It's going to delete this. It's going to delete this whole blue part, so you don't even have it, right? That's what we want you to do. We don't want you to waste time, because technically, everything you need, even though it looks short, there's going to be a form right here that people are going to be filling out. So it's going to push a lot of this down. So all you need is this top part, this top white part, is all you need. So we left all this in here in case you want to leave this stuff in and just fill it out a little bit more. But if this doesn't work for you, just delete it right here. Hit that green, and this whole blue part disappears. Then you can come down to client testimonials. If you don't have any client testimonials or don't want to waste the time, see this little green right here? Just go ahead and hit the green. It's going to delete this whole section. We do recommend keeping this here. Here's I'm just going to put my call tracking number one more time in here. What's it? 905 0095 2095. Okay, done there. And back up to this real quick. Again, what we did is what we typically do for clients is go to their website. They, you know, you might already have some testimonials on your website. Just take a little screenshot of it. Just take a quick little square screenshot of your picture, or excuse me, of the testimony on your site, and then click and upload them as images. Just here, upload your image, just like we did for the logo. Just click there and upload it, and then you have 4. If you don't have whatever, you don't have 4, but maybe you have 3, you can click this little plus sign right here and do a 3-column block. All right, so I'm going to click 3-column, and then boom, now I have this. And all I would do here is I could actually just take this and drag it in. Right, getting some crazy stuff here. I don't want to get too technical on you. I can drag that back out and say I already deleted this, and I'm like, oh, I went 3. I can just click this, and here's a bunch of different things I can do. All this is a single image. When I click single image, there it is right there, right? So this stuff, once you get to learning it, is really, really easy, and it's kind of cool. But again, for what we're, so watch, I'm just going to delete this. Make it disappear. All right, cool. All right, again, don't waste a lot of time. If you don't have any, if you don't have any, testimonials that you want to have on your site. Maybe you do have some testimonials, but nothing's like, you don't have any on your site, but you do have some, you just got a testimonial and you want to add it. I can just hit this little plus and see this headline text. I would just add that there and put my all right. Do something like that if you wanted to, and then I can like highlight all this and then go back to the gear and change my font size, right? There you go. Cool. I can do that. I can click in here. I can bold this, unbold it, whatever you want to do. So you can add text. Again, if you want to get into some customization, just, and you run into some issues, watch the videos in ClickFunnels, or just ask us and we can help you through this. But in the meantime, let's just delete this and keep it simple. All right, again, you can delete this section if you don't have any testimonials or don't want to mess with it. Here you're just changing your number like I did. Down here, if you have some trust symbols, if you have, just grab, again, screen capture the images, or if you already have these logos on your site, just save them down to your computer and just upload them. These are just images. Yep, just click the plus, the image URL, just click the plus, and it'll have you upload the image, and you can select it. If you don't have any of these or don't want to mess with it, again, look what I got here. Just right here on the green, hit the little green trash can, and you're done, right? And it'll delete this section. You don't even have to mess with it. And then down here, I got a couple of different things here. Your company name. So Sunshine Mortgage, we'll just say, is what you are. And then any kind of license number. And usually you already have this on your website, on your company website or your personal website, whatever it is you're already using. Just copy and paste it. Just put it here. Whatever licensing you need, whatever stuff you're required to have per your state, and just paste it here. This is just text. Let me just copy this just in case. Paste here. Look, I'm just typing. So you just copy and paste it there. And I'm just going to go paste that back. All right. And then the last little thing is we have some disclosure, privacy policy, and terms and conditions. Usually you already have those on your site. If you just click, so here I have, this is disclosure. If I just click that, it's going to open up a little link here. Just put your website, copy and paste your website address to your disclosure page. Right. And then X and good. And now same thing with the privacy policy. Just copy and paste the link to your privacy policy. That's simple, right? And see, when I go back to it, you can see it's still there, right? So, all right, I'm just going to delete that out of there. Obviously, again, you'll just put links to, you probably already have these on your website, so you're just going to link to them. That's all. That's all this is. Terms and conditions, your privacy policy, and disclosure. You probably already have these on your website. If you don't say have a disclosure, but you have it already written out, like in your footer, you can delete this here. It's just a link. Excuse me. It's just some text that we link to. So you see, I can highlight it. I can hit delete and make it go away. And then you can just paste your disclosure here. So again, don't get too lost in this. If you have any questions, all you're doing is just linking to these pages that you already have on your website. Here, you're just copy and pasting, any kind of disclaimer, license info that you maybe already have at the bottom of your website. Paste it there. If you don't, you can delete this. It's no big deal. And then you're good. You're just going to come over here and hit save. That's all you got to do. That's all we got to do in this step. So this is going to, take you the longest time, really, messing around with things. It's because it's, you may just want to be adding some of these images or whatnot. But I'm going to ask you to not get lost in this. Put your logo, change your number, and then decide, do you want this or not? If not, just delete, green trash can. Do you want decline testimonials? Do you have them? Do you want them? Green trash can if not. Change your call tracking number here. If you don't have any of these things, just delete. And then change your info down here. Hit save. See how it saves? And then you're done. Exit, right? So that's all that's going on there. Real quick, and this video is getting a little bit long, but I'm just going to show you all you need to change. On the second page is even easier, right? So you're just going to come here to the home buyer quiz thank you. Just go ahead and click on that. And you're going to do the same thing. Just hit edit page real quick. And this one's even easier. There's even less things to change here. Here's where we're going to put our logo, right? So let me just go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and hit my plus sign. I'm going to grab my logo. There it is. If I want to play with this, I can, like we did on the first page. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. Here, I don't really care. Success, we got your info. Someone will reach out to you within 24 hours. If you need to change that, whatever, if you're, I hope you're following up with people in less than 24 hours, ideally within 30 minutes. But, if you need to change that, obviously just click in it and do your text. And then, here's my call tracking number again. So let me just change that. 323 905 and 0095. And then again, down here, change your company name. Whatever it is, just type it. Sunshine Mortgage. And then copy and paste your any kind of disclaimers and stuff. Whatever. Just again, just like you did, hit save and you're done. That's it. That's all it was right there. All right. So I'm going to exit out. Everything else is set up for you. And we'll show you how it works. You're going to see how it works in just a little bit, in a couple more steps. But that's all we need to do for now. So we got the thank you page all set up, which is this page. And actually, if I refresh it, let's just see if it made the changes. Maybe not. Let me see here. Oh, I used a different link. I'm sorry. Let's go to what it looks like now. Let's go here. There it is. Now it's updated. See how it has my tracking number, it has my link. Let's just go. And I'm just going to preview it here. Look, there it is. So there's my logo I changed. My tracking number's there. Again, remember I showed you there's a space here that we're going to add your application or your form. It's not showing anything right now, but it will once we do that. There's our stuff there. There's all our stuff. There's where I changed the info down there. But yeah, see, it's really that easy. So again, it took longer to explain, and it's actually going to take you to do. Again, to make the simple changes, and I suggest just make those quick, easy changes with the logo, the tracking number, and decide if you want to do testimonials. If not, do the green trash can and delete this section. Change your number here. Again, delete this section if you don't have these symbols or don't want to mess with it. Just delete it and then add your info down there and you're done. And then on the thank you page, change your logo, change your tracking number, and change the info down here, and you're done. And there you go. Should only really take you about 15 minutes tops. And that's if you click a few wrong buttons and do whatever. But if you get stuck, if you get hung up, post in the group, maybe a screenshot or record a little video, or just mention what's hanging you up, and we'll try to get you unstuck and get you moving. Because after this, there's just one more step before we're this page can go live. So yeah, this is it. So knock this out, and then we'll see you in the next video. All right, everybody, we made it to the last video of week 1, and this right here is just going to finish out our landing page. So up to this point, we pieced this together of where we're going to be sending, basically where we're going to be generating our referrals. There's still one more piece left that we'll cover. Week 2 we'll actually finish it out and get the application installed. But for week 1, we got all the design stuff out of the way, anything that we needed to get done. And now the last piece is we want to get rid of this ugly website address here. You can see here, just ClickFunnels gives you this kind of long default one. It's kind of a mess. And what we want to do is use the website address that we purchased in the first video. We're going to hook that up so that it shows up here instead of this long, ugly website address here. Right, so what we need to do is we need to go back to Namecheap, which is where we bought our domain. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, and once you log in, your domains will be here in your dashboard. So what we're going to do here is, okay. And before I go on, actually, below this video, there's going to be a link to the ClickFunnels step-by-step process of this. So you can actually, go there and follow along with their little checklist. I just always find it helpful to be able to see how it all works, because it can be confusing if you're, especially if you've never done it before. But this right here will should eliminate all the confusion, because you don't need to understand what's going on at this point. All we're doing is we're hooking up our website address to our page. You don't need to understand the technology behind it or any of that. Just follow along and do exactly what we do, and you're good to go. All right, so we got our domain here, and actually what we're going to be using is we're going to be using a free service. And again, this is all part of the checklist. Actually, let me just go ahead and pull that up for ClickFunnels. You can actually, again, we're going to have a link to this underneath the video, but I use a Google ClickFunnels custom domain, and how to set up, add your custom domain. So, but again, just click the link below the video, and it'll take you right to this page we're about to go to. All right. Okay, cool. So we'll keep that there, and we'll be able to follow along if we need to. All right. So we're going to use a free service called Cloudflare. Now, again, I'm not going to get too technical. Cloudflare is just kind of a, I don't know, like a mediator for the domain that's going to help make your web page load fast. Let's just keep it that simple. It's free to sign up, and we're going to use a free plan, so it doesn't cost you anything. So go ahead and you're just going to sign up. I'm actually going to log in, and then we'll get into the dashboard. All right, once we're inside the Cloudflare account here, you'll be in your dashboard. Because if you don't have a Cloudflare account, it may ask you right away for a website to add. If it doesn't, if you just end up in like a dashboard, all we're going to do is come up here where it says add site, right? So we're going to click that. All right, cool. Now we're going to go to Namecheap, and we're going to grab our domain. So I'm just going to copy it, and you're just going to paste it in exactly like that. All right, make sure no spaces or anything. So just paste it in exactly like it is. Whatever your domain is, just paste it in. And then you're just going to hit begin scan. And this is going to take just a few seconds. There's nothing we really need to do. I'll probably pause this just in case it takes too long, but we're just going to wait till it's done. Okay, and we're all done. Yeah, you know that when it says continue setup. All right, so when it says continue setup, you're good to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit continue setup. All right, pretty cool here. All right, so what we're going to do is see these two here that are orange right now, and they look like this. All you need to do is look and see where it says these two orange ones. It says www, and then this one here says your, whatever domain. All we're going to do is hit the little X's next to this. Yep, delete that. And then we're going to hit X and delete that. Okay, so we shouldn't see any more little cloud things down here. All right, cool. So now all we're going to do is we're going to change this to CNAME. Again, just follow along. I wish I had a good explanation on how this all works. I'm not super smart on why we're doing all this as well, but it just helps. It helps us hook up our website address to our ClickFunnels page. So that's all you really need to know. All right. Again, and this is all in the ClickFunnels step-by-step checklist, or you can just do exactly what I'm doing. All right. So I'm going to put the @ symbol here, and this right here is target.clickfunnels. ClickFunnels.com, I believe, actually. So I'm actually going to check it out. Again, the ClickFunnels checklist shows you exactly how it all works. Here it is here. Type target.clickfunnels.com and target.clickfunnels.com. Perfect. So I have the @ symbol, target.clickfunnels. I'm just going to hit add record. Okay. Now I'm going to do one more. I'm going to put www and do the same thing. Target.clickfunnels.com. Target.clickfunnels.com. www. I'm going to go ahead and just hit add record again. Okay, that's it. So all I did was I deleted the 2 orange cloud things that were there when I first got to this page, and I just replaced it with the ones that ClickFunnels wants you to put. So really that simple. Then you're just going to scroll down and hit continue. Okay, it's going to default you to this business website here. Just hit free website right here. It's just a free plan. It doesn't cost you anything. Right? You're going to hit continue. All right. Again, we're going to do some more copy and paste stuff here. All right. So they want you to change your name servers. Now, this is why I like and I prefer you use Namecheap, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in Namecheap. If you're using a different service like GoDaddy or something, I don't have those instructions, but it's going to be similar. I mean, this still part stays the same, but just where you paste it is different in the domain registrar. So with Namecheap though, it's real simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. So basically, we're just going to be changing name servers to these right here. So all that means is copy this first one. Right? I'm going to go ahead and go to manage. Oh, perfect. I'm going to sign in real quick. Kick man. Okay, I'm back in it. All right, I hit manage and now it's bringing me there. All right, I'm just going to scroll down to see where it says name servers. Okay, right now it says Namecheap Basic DNS. I'm going to drop down that arrow, go to custom, and see it has name server 1, name server 2. So I'm taking the first one, I copied it, and I'm going to paste it on the top line for the first line. Then I'm going to go back, copy the second one, and paste it on the second line. Then I'm going to come right here, hit this little check mark. All right. It's done. It says DNS server may update, whatever, please allow, whatever. You'll see all this stuff. You're good to go. You're done at this point. Just close it out. Don't even worry about it. All right. So let's continue. Okay, so we're back in. We're back in Cloudflare, and I hit continue. Now it's bringing me here. It says pending. Don't worry about any of this stuff. All I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and just hit recheck name servers if you see it. Okay, it popped up a little message that you didn't see. No big deal. Don't worry about that. I just hit it. Sometimes it'll say, hey, you're good to go. It'll change the status from pending, but don't worry about it. If it says pending, that's fine. All right, so now we're going to come up here to where it says page rules. See where it says page rules. Again, all you got to do is just do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to create a page rule. Okay, all I'm going to do, you see where it says the example here, www.example.com/star. It also says it in the ClickFunnels checklist. Let's go there, because this is what I do. I just go into the ClickFunnels checklist here. See where it's talking about changing your name servers. I'm going to scroll down to this part where we're at. See, it's telling me to hit the page rules. It says type in your domain name with the following format, which is the same way that we just looked at. So all I do is I just typically copy that, paste it. So instead of your domain, I need to put my actual domain. So I just come up here, copy, and replace it here. All right, so it should say www.yourdomainhere.com/ and then the asterisk. And then we're going to hit add a setting. Pick a setting. forwarding URL. All right. I'm going to go 301, permanent redirect. I'm going to go back here and tell me what copy and paste what it tells me here. So it says re-enter your domain in the following format. So I'm just going to copy this, copy every piece of it, come down here, paste it here. And again, I need to change it from, I need to change it to my actual domain name. So I'll just copy it. All right, there we go. Then you just hit save and deploy. All this piece is doing is making it so that if someone types in www in your domain instead of just your domain name, it will make sure it gets to the correct page. That's all that's going on. All right. Other than that, that's it. And Cloudflare, we're done there. You will see in ClickFunnels, it'll tell you to check one more thing. It'll say go to the crypto piece, but I've never needed to change this, and they tell you to check and to make sure it says full right here. See where it says full? They want you to show full, which it does up here. See right here? All right, cool. Then I'm just going to close out Cloudflare, right? So I don't need that. I don't want to confuse. I don't want to leave anything up that's confusing to me. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to hook it up in ClickFunnels, right? So I'm going to go back into my ClickFunnels account, right? So I'm in my funnel here, right? So I clicked on it. I'm in it. I'm actually going to go to my account and see where it says up here, it says custom domains, right? I'm going to click that. And this part is also in the ClickFunnels checklist. So you would just continue following down. But again, you can just be following along with me right now and knock it out. Okay, add a new domain. Okay, and this is kind of new here. So I'm going to use an existing domain. We already own it, right? We don't need to buy one. So you're just going to go right here, use an existing domain. And then we're going to do manual advanced setup. Yeah, we're going to do the manual advanced setup. It's not advanced. It's real simple. All we're going to do is paste our domain name here, which I guess I should have left it up. What is it? Smart Home Buyer program. Smart Home. So I would have left up my Namecheap window and highlighted it and copied it in here. Smart Home Buyer Programs.com. All right, so that's my domain. Okay, right here. We want to, in this drop down, you're going to pick the first page of the funnel, right? Which is this page, the home buyer quiz. I'm going to select this. It's going to show all my funnels here, so I'm actually going to blur this part and select it, and you'll see it here in just a second. Okay, if you come here, you see where all I'm going to do is find my funnel name. And you see how it shows HB Quiz and HB Quiz Thank You. So this is the thank you page, and then the first page is the quiz page. That's what I want. That's why I'm going to select the quiz page. I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to go and select the exact same thing that I selected here. All right, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you see I selected each page right there. And then where it says Enable SSL, I'm going to turn that on. Okay. Just hit that and it slides on, and then create domain. Okay, you're going to get this here. This is confusing. I've already told them about it. Like, I don't know why this pops up. Just close this out. Okay, you're going to close this out, and then we're going to go back. Then we're going to go to your funnel page. So X, and then I'm going to go back here to my funnels. And again, you'll probably just have one if this is your first account. All right, I'm going to go find it here. My list, my gigantic list of funnels here. All right. All right, so I clicked, I'm in my funnel again. All right, so now after I've added my custom domain, I'm good to go. So now I just come back here, and now it's time to hook it up here to this specific funnel. So I'm just going to go to settings right here. And where it says domain, I'm just going to click here and select it from the list. Now again, I'm probably going to stop, pause, and then come right back because it's going to show every domain I have here. So I don't want to show that here on the camera. So I'm going to select it here. I'll be right back with you. Okay, see that? So smarthomebuyerprograms.com. There it is. So for this path, this is what's going to show when we, for the URL. So I like to just, whatever this is, pre-approval quiz is what I like to use. You can use whatever you want. I don't know, whatever, home buyer quiz or home buyer approval, whatever you want to do, or you can just copy here what I did, pre-approval quiz, whatever. Right? I like to keep it nice and clean, make it look somewhat normal. All right, now I'm just going to save and update settings. Okay, so you see up here now. See, now it shows my domain. So instead of that long, ugly one, it actually shows kind of a nice clean one here, right? So now I need to change it for each of these pages. So right here, if someone clicks this, it's going to go to the very first page in this funnel, right? So it's just the way ClickFunnels works. So I have this big main domain. This is what I'm going to paste everywhere. I'm going to copy and paste this. You can see here a little copy to clipboard, right? This is what I'm always going to use and copy and put into my ads and wherever, whatever it is I need to, that I'm advertising. But I want to change also these individual pages because it doesn't change everything. So unfortunately we have to individually go through and do this. So, all right, next step is, so I'm on the HB quiz, my first page. I'm going to go to the publishing. Okay, same thing. See where it says domain? I'm just going to select my domain from the list. Okay, I selected it. And here, make it something different than the main one. The main one is what everyone's going to see. This one, it'll turn into this. Again, don't get too wrapped up in this. Just make it different than this. So here, like I put pre-approval quiz up here. Here I just put home buyer quiz. All right. I'm going to copy this path. Update funnel step. Again, this is the hardest part out of all this. And this is, if you're just following along, all you got to do is just do exactly what I do, and you're good to go. It just takes again, it's confusing if you're trying to figure it out on your own, but just watch what I'm doing, follow along. I recommend just go back. If you watch this and you're getting confused, I recommend you actually just follow along with me. Again, there's also the ClickFunnels checklist as well. All right, so here we go. We have, so I changed it up here in publishing. So the next step I need to change it is actually right down here. You'll see this little gear. I'm going to click it. All right, and I just need to change it here again, right? So I'm going to select my domain. Okay, again, I selected it. And so remember where I just, I had you copy that. We're just going to paste home buyer quiz. So I want it to match exactly what I just got done putting in. So home buyer quiz, right? So I changed the main spot up here in settings, and now I'm on this individual page. And I changed it in publishing, and I changed it in the gear, right? So now, and you see here, starting to, now my domain's tied to it. Now I'm going to do the last step, which is the last page, the thank you page. We're going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to go to publishing. I'm going to select my domain. Okay. And again, I just want it to be, this is going to now the thank you page. So I usually have something, home buyer, thank you. All right. So I'm going to copy that. Update the funnels step. And down into the gear. I'm going to do that now. Okay. Again, I'm going to select my domain. And then again, I'm going to make sure that this is exactly what I just put in the publishing part. So home buyer, thank you, exactly. Update. And that's it. That is it. So Now let's just check it out. Let's make sure. So remember before, so here it is. Here is what it used to be. I had this big long ClickFunnels domain, kind of ugly. Now I'm just going to see here. I can click this as visit funnel URL. I'm going to click it. Okay. So you can see here where it says Smart Home Buyer Programs. You can see here that it actually uses my domain now. Now it's going to take a few minutes for, sometimes I've seen it take like up to an hour before the connection between Cloudflare, Namecheap, and ClickFunnels all kind of syncs together where your site will load. So just keep testing it, keep taking a look at it, but we should see it come alive here. Like I said, usually it's pretty quick, but sometimes I've seen it take up to like an hour before. So I'll probably just pause this and show you once it kind of syncs together. Okay, and there we go. Looks like it loaded here. So here we go, Smart Home Buyer Programs. You can see that the new website address is there, and there's our page. So that easy. So so just give it a little time for Cloudflare and Namecheap and ClickFunnels to kind of all sync together, and then your page will load just fine, and it'll load with the new website address. So you have a nice clean looking website and with a nice clean domain here. So all right, if there's anything that you need help with through this process, I recommend you go back and watch this video and follow along and actually take the actions as I do them. That'll be the easiest way to do this. Just make sure you follow every single step and just do it with me. That's the easiest way to do it. And then if you do have any issues, definitely post in the Facebook group, and we'll get at you and help you get through this, because after this you're good to go, and we're going to move into week 2 next, and there it's all downhill from here. So all right, hit us if you have any questions, and if not, then we will see you in the next videos for week 2. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of the Mortgage Marketing Mastery Program. And this week we are going to set up our pre-qualification quiz and a follow-up system, which will ultimately help us basically put together a complete system for immediate success. So what do I mean by that? We want to maximize how many of our leads, our referrals that come in. We want to maximize how many convert right away into a signed application. So it's pretty common in real estate related campaigns, I'm including realtors in this, especially realtors. It's actually pretty easy to generate a high volume of referrals and leads, but you'll find with a lot of the campaigns out there that people brag about or they throw around, very few of those referrals or those leads convert into anything. So what you're stuck with is a bunch of referrals that they are pretty worthless. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everyone converts right away. It doesn't matter what niche or industry that you're generating leads in. Not everyone converts right away. That's why it's important to have a follow-up system. However, we do want to maximize how many people do convert right away, but don't get me wrong, and do not ignore the follow-up system, especially in real estate. It's important to fill a pipeline. Again, when we're talking big decisions, especially with home purchases, not everyone's going to convert right away. It's just that I've seen a lot of campaigns out there that they don't convert in the short term and they don't convert in the long term. So what we're going to be showing you here today is a system that you'll set up that will help you convert as many of these referrals as quick as possible, but also have a follow-ups, or also have referrals that will go into a pipeline that will also ultimately lead to long-term business ideally. But everything we're going to show you today is to help maximize the short-term conversions, which that's what your clients that's what the name of the game is. How many of those we can get to turn into business as quick as we possibly can. So resources we're going to use here is some form building software. That's going to be to build out our pre-qualification quiz. It's some of you might have already seen this already. There's questions. There's a minimum of 15 questions on the home buyer quiz, and for the refi, I think there's 17 or 18. So bottom line is we're going to show you how to set those up, which, they're pretty detailed, and they produce a pretty, any referral that goes through all these questions is, they're definitely better than someone who just provides their name, phone number, and email. So we'll show you the software we use to set up these quizzes. We'll also walk through some automation software and show you how to hook up, kind of the follow-ups that we use, which will primarily be email and text. So we'll show you how that works. And then we'll also talk about the call tracking software again. If you remember week 1, we showed you CallFire and how to set up a call tracking number. Here we're going to show you how to integrate with the automation software so we can actually send texts through that call tracking system. And then, don't forget, if you need help, just holler at us. There's plenty of spots available, plenty of ways to contact us. We do have the weekly Q&A calls. Again, those are when there's demand for it, when there are people, when there are people that want to get on these calls, we will record those calls. And then also just in the Facebook group, at any time, just drop a question in there and we'll get to it. We'll answer it. If not us, someone else that's pretty smart will be able to help you out as well. And then also at any time, you can also send a support email at mmmsupporthelp.com. And that's for, those questions that you don't necessarily want to share out, maybe a little bit more personal, maybe related to a specific client, that you want to keep kind of private. So feel free to shoot us an email there. So, all right, with that, let's jump into the first video of week 2. All right, so here we are on the first video of week 2, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up our essentially our pre-qualification quiz. So we're here on our landing page that we've set up, and we have it set up here, but we know that there's a slot here that we need to have our form. We need to have our quiz, right? So if I go ahead into ClickFunnels here and take a peek, then we'll look right here at this middle section. It says custom JavaScript. So right there, we're going to end up putting in a code for our form so that when this page is viewed, we'll have our pre-qualification form that the leads will be filling out. So we're going to show you how to build that today. And we're going to use, what we use is a program called Wufoo. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, so first, there's a lot of different ones out there, right? Some swear by certain ones, some swear by others. Wufoo just is simple and it works for us, still works today. So don't get wrapped up on trying to figure out which one of these to use. I recommend just use Wufoo and then go from there. Just follow what we're doing. And then, if you find something else that you like, or if you're already using something else, the stuff should change over. But again, we're going to show you exactly how to set it up using Wufoo. So with that, let me get into the Wufoo account. All right. So when we get up into Wufoo, you're going to have this button here that says New Form. You're just going to hit that to create your form. After you create your account, do all your stuff, you're going to hit New Form. Now what I'm going to do is, you can see here I have the refi quiz and home buyer pre-approval quiz. I already have them here, so we're just going to go into them since I already have them set up. But you would just go into New Form and then set it up how I'm going to show you right here. So let's go into the home buyer. Okay, so the key with this form is, and the way it's set up, is a specific way, is to basically walk and lead or guide the referral through this process, so it's not overwhelming. So if you notice here, was there like 15? I think there's 15 total questions or pieces of information that we collect. If you were just to throw all this on one straight sheet, then you would completely just overwhelm someone, and they would probably more likely leave. Our conversion rate on these is typically hovers around 20% at a minimum. you know, it's a pretty decent rate for these long form leads. You know, and it varies per traffic source, whether you're using Facebook or maybe pay-per-click or something like that. But bottom line is these convert really well. And, you know, sometimes I see people throw numbers on their leads that they're getting and conversions that they're getting. And they're collecting name, phone number, and email. Meanwhile, we're collecting, you know, like 5 times the data and getting the same, if not better, conversion rates than some of those guys. So trust us, it works. The key is to break it up. So here's how you would set this thing up. So you're going to have all these different little forms. Wufoo makes it super easy to drag and drop. So let me show you kind of what this is. So we will walk through. So right away, all these questions we're going to have kind of in a form below this video, so that you can click and just see what all the information is that we fill in, so that you can just copy and paste it as you create it. But let me just walk you through what each of these are. So this zip code right here is a single line text. We make every single thing, we make every single field required. So when you click on, so let's go back to that field. So to create one of these, all you do is you grab it and you just drag it wherever you want it. That's simple. All right. So as we walk through these, you'll see exactly what type they are. You're just going to drag that specific type and bring it over, right? You know, dragging around fields is very easy in Wufoo. You can see here, right? If I click this, I make it required. The little red asterisk means it's required. I'm going to undo that. Plus signs means duplicate. See how I just duplicated that? And then the red means delete. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, so a couple things here. So first, the fields, right? So the zip code is just a single line text. It's required, right? And all you can do, this is how you just change. You just type here. See how it's, see that? All right, right? So very simple, very simple. This right here, the home type is a drop down. And you can see what we put here: single family, multifamily, or other. Keep it very simple. Is this your first property purchase? Yes or no? Our goal here is to see if they qualify for a FHA. All right, so right here we have a page break, right? So where's that at? Right here. That's the page break. See, right there. Now what page break automatically does is it puts this button, because basically you're saying start a new page after this. So you're kind of right here is where you're selecting what do you want the button to say. I'm going to show you how we set ours up with image buttons, but you can literally just leave it as a text button right here and just type what do you want, you know, next or next. You see that? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, but what I'm going to do is see what we've done here. I actually have a button that's an image. And so what we'll do is I'll leave these images. We'll have these images for you. However, just understand when you have an image here in Wufoo, you notice here I have like a website. Basically, I've had to upload this image to a WordPress site in the media section and then just grab the URL. So I got it kind of hosted somewhere else. So you do, if you use an image for your button, you got to host the image somewhere. If you have complications with that, or if that's something you do want to do, you know, that's something we're not going to set up a specific training for that, because you can literally just use the text button as well, which is again here without any problems. We just do it to make it look a little better. So, you know, if you can, you can, but if not, just drag in the page break and just leave it as next page. It's fine. Don't worry about that. All right. So let me delete that. Okay. So here's our page break. The next page is going to be credit. And you can see here what we've done. We just have credit, and we actually have numbers. Now, sometimes, you know, if you want to, you can use excellent, good, average, below average, poor, or unsure. I always like to put it unsure because some people just don't know. Like some people just have no clue what their credit is. And I always want to make the question so that I'm not excluding people just because of something. Numbers are good. People, you know, loan officers will like the numbers. However, you know, a lot of them just use the excellent, poor, and all those as well. Here's what we use, the numbers. I'm showing you what we use. Property purchase situation. We want to just see what's going on. This helps indicate the timeline. Here you can see they signed a purchase agreement. Offer pending. They found a property. I don't know why it says that. Okay. Buying in 2 to 6 months. You can see here. And then researching options, right? Again, I like to put the researching. You'll get, you'll get a few of those for sure. But a lot of times when they're contacted and, kind of, brought into the process, they'll tell you kind of that they more than likely fall into one of these other categories. Property you used for primary residence, second home or vacation or rental investment, and then another page break. And then let's see here. On the next page, estimated purchase price of new property. Now, some people will do something different, like they may just put a text block and let them fill it in. I like to give options, right? I like to make it as easy as possible. So for our, referrals that are filling out this form, we like it so that they're just selecting options versus having to type. The easier you make it for them, the higher the chances of conversion, which is why this form for us converts very well. Whereas some people will they'll have specific, they'll use like we did for the zip code. They'll do that for all these questions and have the person typing it in. And you just know how it is. You get going on a long form and having to constantly type in information, it just kind of gets old. And if it's not something that's important to you, or if there's an easier way to do it, you're going to, possibly leave this process and go do it that way. So we want to keep them here and keep them going and make it super easy for them. So you can see what we've done here, less than 100,000, and we just got ranges all the way up to 400,000 plus. This may vary depending on the area that you're targeting. Okay, estimated down payment. You can see what we've done here, 0 down, minimum down. We probably could just put minimum down since there's not very many 0 down property programs out there, but to keep it simple, but we just kind of throw it out there. Again, more options, more than 50% down, let's let them pick. Gross annual household income. Again, we let them pick. Here they're just putting in, what their annual income is, their range. Then another page break. And then next page, filed bankruptcy in the last 3 years. Yes, no. Can you show proof of income? Yes, no. Are you working with a real estate agent? Yes, no. So loan officers really love this question because a lot of loan officers can get referrals and like to get referrals from real estate agents, right? Because real estate agents sometimes are the first contact. People start looking around for a home and then they look to see if they can afford it or get a loan for it. When ideally it'll maybe work the other way around. People will see, you get both ways, but either way is loan officers like to have relationships with real estate agents. For every one loan officer, there's about 100 real estate agents. So if a loan officer if this comes in, they say if they're working with a real estate agent, no, the loan officer, that's just a great opportunity for them to forge a relationship. Maybe they have a pre-existing relationship with a realtor that they can send this lead over to, who will be grateful. And so when someone, is ready for financing, they'll send it, they'll have the, send them back to the loan officer or again, basically it's a kind of a relationship building question here. And loan officers like that. And then we have name, email, and phone number on the very last way. So they've come all this way. So instead of putting it up front, which a lot of people do, they come all this way and, their chances are, it just increases the chances they're going to fill this out. And this is just a name field. And this is a email field. And this is just a phone number field, right? So, and again, all of these are required. So you can see pretty much every single one of these is dropped down except for this single text here, single line text. And then these very last ones are just the specific name, email, phone number. Then of course we got the page breaks. All right, so once you do that, and as you go ahead and save the form down here. Just go ahead and make sure you're saving as you go. And then there's one other thing, one other section here we want to make sure that we fill out is the form settings. This is where the title is, so I think it'll just say new form. So in the form settings, you'll just label whatever you want. It don't matter. It's just so you recognize it in the list. And then down here for the confirmation options, okay, it'll default to like show text. Say, hey, thanks for filling out my form. We don't want that to happen. We want to actually redirect them to a website. All right, so we want to redirect them actually to our thank you page. So when someone fills out the form, we want to get them to our thank you page, right? So that's how we track. Oops, let me see that. All right, that's how we track our conversions. All right. So what we want to do is we just simply want to come here and grab our thank you page URL. I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to paste it here. All right, make sure you don't have any spaces. Sometimes when you paste. Okay, no, looks good. So there. So that means whenever someone completes this form, the very last step, and they hit the submit button, it'll redirect them to this page, which is our thank you page, right? That's it. Don't check this. Don't want to send confirmation to the email user. We don't need to do anything else here. Just make the title and put redirect to website, put your website address. Then we're going to come down and hit save form. Okay. Now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and go into set up the email notifications for the form. All right, it'll bring you here to this little section. Here's where I want us to fill out the information. This email address will be to wherever you want the referral to go to primarily. So for me, I want it to go to the loan officer, right? So I'm going to put their email here, the loan officer's email, whatever that is. That way, whenever someone submits the form, it goes right to this address, right? And I want to make sure that new entries is checked. Right, and actually I'm going to change this to one of our company on visibilitycloud@gmail.com, so we can look at this in the example. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save it. So I got new entries checked. I have my email, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize notification email. Here's what do you want the from address to be, the from name, I'm sorry. What do you want the from name? So when it goes to the loan officer, what name do I want to show? So I'm leaving it visibility. That's just my marketing company's name. That's our marketing company's name. So I want them to know that it's coming from us. And then the subject down here, it's a home buyer referral. What I'll typically do is I'll put, the state or whatever it is. So I'm in California, so I may have home buyer referral CA for California. Basically, once you start working with several clients, or if you have several different of these campaigns, you want to be able to separate it. So you don't want them all named home buyer referral because you want to know which campaign is what or who this is for. And then under BCC, that's where I'll put my email address and anyone else that. Basically, I want to get a copy of every referral that comes in. So because I just want to know when they come in. So I always put my email here. Right? That way it's a blank carbon copy. No one else sees it that I'm getting it. Not that matters. I just like to keep it clean. If they have other emails that they wanted to go to, say they have a list of 5, I usually just put one, the main one, out on the other side out there, and then here I'll list their other ones, other emails that they have that they want also CC'd on, right? So, and then all you gotta do is hit done. And I always just hit save one more time. So now, I got the form set up, and I have the email address that, the email address that I want the referrals to get sent to, and then I also have my, the from name. I have the subject line. And this little entry ID, that's just the number that's going to be assigned to the referral. That's just, they fill out the form. You can delete this if you want. And then, any other emails that they want to receive this referral. And then, I have my email here to CC me whenever an email comes in. All right. Okay. That's all that's happened there. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the form. Okay. So one other thing here. So you can see here, this is just a template, right? So this is basically different templates of what you want to use. What we've done is for the buttons, so let's go to, I'm sorry, not templates, themes it's called. So what we do, how I had the orange next button and all there, so I put that in the quiz to have the submit button. You know what, let's just look at it real quick. Let's just look at the form. Okay, so here's the form, right? So there's the info. So let's just put some info, single. Yes, doesn't matter. I'm at next. You can see here, you can see this little bar, how it continues to stay. Make sure that we talk about that real quick. See here, I can click on it. Pagination options. So I can have that do steps. 1, 2, 3. I like to do the percentage, so they just know as they go what percent is done. Right? So that's where that is. That is where that is. All right. So let me go back to forms. Discard changes. All right, let's go back to the form. Okay, credit. Let's just say whatever, primary. Next. And that's whatever. No, yes, no. Okay, so when I get here, so see this where it says get my quote? So that's a custom button. So I couldn't make that in the form. Where I make that at is up here in themes. So basically what you would do is you go to, see where it says buttons up here? So you can just leave it on create new. Just go to buttons. And see where it says button type? So what's your button going to say? You can have it text, or it can just be a submit button. If this is too complicated or you don't want to mess with this, just leave it as it is. You don't even have to be in here. I'm just showing you how to set up this little get my quote. If I want it to be a custom kind of button right here that they hit, instead of a little submit button, if I want it to be like an image, then I just click here and say link. And then I just type in my where I got it hosted. Just like I did for the next buttons. I just paste it there. And then once I do, let me just change something here. Great, whatever. I would hit save theme and just name it. Home buyer. Forms, whatever. Now I'd hit submit. And then that way I could come here. I would go here, and then in my little list, see here, home buyer forms, I would just select that. And now it's my theme. So whatever button I paste in would be showing here for this form. If this, this is something you can easily just drop a question or clarify in the Facebook group if you have questions on this. This is just getting a little, fancy, if you will. We just like to use these image buttons versus the little tiny, submit button that Wufoo defaults to. But you're more than welcome to use that, and it will convert fine. Again, it's just an image thing. Okay, so once I have it and done, and I got it, whatever I want. The great thing is once I embed this form into our little funnel here, if I make a change, it'll automatically update. I don't have to keep re-uploading, right? So it's automatically going to stay. It'll just update dynamically. All right. So what I need to do once that's done, I'm going to go to share and grab embed form. And you can see here, I'm just going to go here, copy code. Let's pop over. All right, edit page. Okay, I'm just going to click on the box, and once I drop it here, I'm just going to paste right here. Okay, you see how there's like an extra space? I'm just going to delete that. And then one thing I need to change, I need to come up here. See where it says header? I'm going to change that to hide. Right? That's all I'm going to do. Change it from show to hide. And then I'm going to save. If I didn't do that, it would show this on my page. I don't want it to show this title. It's the form title. So I'm just hiding this form title. Okay. All right, so I saved it. And let's refresh, take a peek what this looks like. just like that, right? So now I got my form, it's embedded, and I can just start using it. Okay, so when someone fills this out and goes all the way through and hits submit, it's going to distribute, you know, whoever I put that email to, they're going to get it right away. And we'll look at what that looks like here in just a minute when we do the when we go into follow up. But that's it. So you got your form set up, and now it's embedded into your sheet. So now your landing page is really set up and ready to go, right? You're all good to go. And actually, with that, so the questions will be underneath this video here for both the home buyer and the refi, so that you can just copy and paste them in, and the answers as well. And then I'll just have the images also. So you'll be able to, we'll probably have them in a zip file or something, so you can just download and have the orange next button and the get my quote orange button. All we did is create those in Canva. So canva.com, you can see what we did here. Here's a submit button. I think on some of them I have submit, some I have get my quote. But all I did is just create a square size. What size is this? 238 by 50 it looks like. I don't know why I picked that size. And just made it orange and then drug text on it. You know, grabbed text and drug it on here and put some symbols and just typed whatever I want and then downloaded it. So I just did this in Canva. So if you wanted to create your own buttons or different colors, you can definitely do that. And then you just download, and then again, you just got to upload the image to, you know, somewhere. I have WordPress sites, so I just grabbed one of those and uploaded it. It doesn't matter where, just a site that's live, so that Wufoo, so it'll, you know, be alive so that Wufoo can grab the image. So again, if you need help with that process, just holler at us. All right, so with that, we're good to go with our form, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, how's everyone doing here? So now we're in video 2 of week 2. We just got done setting up our form. So what I want to do, and to kick this off, what we want to do is hook up the kind of the automated follow-up, which is we keep very simple. There's again many ways to do different things. We're just going to show you what we do, the simplest version of what we do, that gets great results, so that you can just implement it and don't have to get all wrapped up in setting up a, you know, big long autoresponder sequences and email follow-ups and whatnot. We're going to keep it very simple. So, but first, let me go ahead and we're just going to go through the quiz real quick so I can generate. I want to generate a referral through the form so we can see what that process looks like, make sure this works, and then that'll also allow us to set up the follow-ups. So just real quick, I'm going to just go through and just do a bunch of random things here just to make sure that this works right. Whatever, I'm just picking nothing specific here, whatever, just to get some info. Everything's working fine. Again, whether you use the image down here or left it the default of what Wufoo left, then no big deal. Okay, oops. I'll put a company name here, email.com, and I'll put is this visibility cloud 1? Okay, I'll put my actual phone number. I'm gonna block it out so you clowns don't see it. Call me. Okay, and then so what's going to happen is, and the reason why I'm putting my real phone number is because I'm gonna we're gonna set up a text notification, so we'll look at what that looks like. So I'm gonna make sure I get it. Okay, I'm just gonna hit get my quote. All right, you see, because we set it up in Wufoo to redirect to the thank you page. Here we go. Now we're on the thank you page. I got it. Here, someone will reach out to you within 24 hours. There's my number that I had, and there we go. So that worked fine. So I want to check a couple of things. Let's make sure that it got distributed. Okay, you can see right here, visibility cloud, home buyer referral, CA number 2, right? Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and go here. And then we can see here, it sent me the information. Here's all the information that's filled out. So the LO will get this right away, right? So awesome. So they get that right away. So ideally they're on the phone right away to start cranking and get a hold of me here to try to you know, to find out, go through my information and you know, try to get me an appointment, try to book an appointment with me, you know, as long as it makes sense, and to finish basically get me an app, you know, get me on an application. So, all right, so we're going to help out that process using an automated tool called Zapier, right? So some of you might be familiar with it, but basically all it is just think of it as a little, like an app or whatever. I don't want to call it an app. It's because you're going to log in here and set it up. So it's not like a little app on your phone or anything like that. It's basically a little thing that's going to automate, basically makes different things talk to each other. So we're going to use it to hook up to our ClickFunnels, or I'm sorry, to our Wufoo, and make it connect to our basically to our call tracking software, the CallFire, and make it connect with each other so it passes the information and sends notifications. So let's talk about what that means, right? So let's get to, so here in Zapier, once you log in, you're just going to come up here to make a zap. Let's just go through what all this looks like. So what I want to do is I want to get it so that when someone submits the form, what I want to do is, our goal is to get these guys on the phone, right? I want to get this referral on the phone as soon as I possibly can, because, you know, the sooner the better. For every, there's some kind of crazy stat, you can probably Google and find it out there. I don't have it off the top of my head. But it's something along the lines of, for every 30 minutes that goes by, there's like a significant decrease of chance that you're going to get a hold of that lead, no matter what it is. No, that's across the board. So it's just kind of interesting to know that, you know, you want to strike as, you know, when the lead is as hot as it possibly can be. So ideally, they're going to call right now. So, right, we want to persuade them to try to jump on the phone now and give the loan officer a call, because that makes it just even sweeter if they call you. But the more likely scenario is you're going to have to get a hold of them, or excuse me, the loan officer will have to get a hold of them. So we want to help speed up that process the best we can. So what we want to do is, whenever someone submits this form, we actually want to send them a text. We want to send them a text as if it's coming from the loan officer to try to engage them in conversation, to get them to contact us or give us a good time to contact them. Basically, just, again, get the conversation started. And there's a lot of different things we can do with it. We'll discuss some of these options, but bottom line is that's what we're going to try to do. Set up that process. So here's what we're going to do, right? So we have choose a trigger, right? So this is the first part, the first step, right? So what is the first step? First step is the lead goes through Wufoo, right, and submits their information. So we're going to connect Wufoo first. So we need to grab the information, the new entry in Wufoo, right? This. Okay, I already have an account integrated. If you don't, it'll say add account, and you'll just hit there. You'll log into your Wufoo account, and it'll connect it. You know, Zapier will connect to your Wufoo account, so it can pull the information. Right? I'm already good. I'm already connected. I'm good to go. I'm going to go ahead and save and continue. Okay, so now I'm going to choose the form. So remember how I named it? So I'm just going to select it in the list. Okay, so remember I named it MMM HB pre-approval quiz. Sorry, so I'm just grabbing that. So I'm saying any new entry on this form I want to do something with. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. So it's going to grab. So I went ahead and did a test myself. I went ahead and submitted myself, so it had information to pull, right? So it's going to do a test and just check to see if looking for an existing entry. Okay, it says successful, so I'm just going to review my entry, see if it pulls up me. Yep, see, so there's my name. So you can see it pulled up my information, right? So it's good to go. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so continue. Okay, so what's the next part of this? So the next part is we want to send a text to the referral, but here's what I want to do instead, or first. I want to somewhat make it a little bit more natural. So what I want to do is I want to put a delay in. So Zapier has built in, like, see these little orange squares? It says built in. I don't know why these aren't populating right now. Probably, I'm sure you mean some kind of browser issue or cache issue or something like that, whatever. But these little orange things are built-in things from Zapier. So I'm going to go to the one that says delay. So what I want to do is I want to delay for so what I want to do is use a number. Minimum delay is 1 minute. I want to delay for 5 minutes. All right, and you see how it says put it in a 0.0. So I'm going to do 5.0 for 5 minutes. And I'm actually going to choose minutes here. You can do minutes, hours, days, weeks, but we just want minutes. All right, so I'm going to do 5 minute. I want a 5 minute delay. Hit continue. 5 minute delay. Okay, cool. I don't need to do anything there. Hit finish. Oops, actually, no, sorry. All right, I didn't mean to hit finish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and hit a plus sign. I wanted to add one more action. All right, so over here there was a plus sign, so I just added this. All right, so now the last step here is I want to do, I need to connect to CallFire. There it is. Okay, and here's exactly what I would do. I want to create a text message. So I'm going to hit save and continue. Okay, there's my CallFire account that I've already hooked up. We'll just test it, make sure it's still connected. Okay, so here's what I want to do. This is the text message that I want to send, right? So what I want to do is, I already have a format here. I'm just going to grab it and paste it in. We'll take a look at it. Okay, all right, sure no spaces. So, hey, lead name, this is the LO's name with whatever the LO's company is. I got the answers you submitted online. Everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? So what we're doing here is we're actually going to engage with this lead right away as quick as we can, while still making it look like it's not just some automated robot, even though, you know, it is an automated process. But again, we're just trying to be somewhat, you know, slick with it, I guess, would be a word for it. But bottom line is we want to get this text to them, and the whole idea is that they text us back saying, hey, you know, anytime's good, which means that the LO can call them right now. Or they may say, hey, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Basically what we're trying to do is get them to commit to a time to talk, right? So that's what we're trying to do to set up. Now, there's a bunch of different strategies we can use, and we wanted to keep this as simple as possible, you know, but just to give you an idea of the possibilities of what you can do with this. You can set up a booking kind of calendar, like or booking software with like Calendly, or you know, schedule me once, or whatever. There's a bunch of different little scheduling programs that you can set up a calendar that's shared, that the loan officer shares with their own calendar, or just, you know, it's just separate for this campaign, and have that link go in here. Say, hey, everything looks great. You know, I got your answers. Everything looks great. You know, here's a link to my schedule. Pick a time that works for you, and let's talk about, you know, your answers or whatever. You know, there's whatever. And then they would just see it, and they can click right there in their text and book a call before the loan officer even talks to them. They can already have a schedule booked, and they're already leg up on, you know, 90% of the other loan officers out there that aren't good at following up with leads. But this one's just as effective. The only thing is here is that there's just more engagement that has to happen, right? Because they're going to respond ideally, and then we would need to respond back. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do to automate some of this. So, hey, lead name. So we can actually automate that. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to hit this little plus sign over here. Insert a field. So now it's going to look at my Wufoo form, because I connected it, right? And I can grab one of the fields there. So I'm going to just find the field that's my first name. All right. Down here, name first. I'm going to click that. So now it's just going to automatically, whatever that person put in there for their first name, it's just going to pull it right here, right? So for me, it's going to be, hey, Jason. This is LO name. Just put whatever the loan officer's name is. Let's just say it's, Dylan with, Sunshine Mortgage, whatever their mortgage company is. This is Dylan with Sunshine Mortgage. I got the answers you submitted online. Everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? Right? Cool. So that's it. That's going to be the message. Just a nice, quick little text there. Phone number required. This is the phone number of the recipient of the text. So we want to send the text to the lead, right? So we need to pull their phone number and input it here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go here, go back to the Wufoo form, and go to the field that says phone, okay? Phone number right here, right? So I just selected phone number. All right, so I'm just going to hit continue. So see what it did here? Pulled my name right away from the form. Hey, Jason, this is Dylan with Sunshine Mortgage. I got the answers you submitted online. Everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? And it's automatically pulling my phone number, and then it's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and create and continue. Now, the reason why you want to test this up front, or at least have a referral already in there before you set this up, is because it's actually going to send the text right away to test. Like I don't, if you know of another way around it. So I usually just do a test myself, and I actually just got this test. So after that, it's just as simple as finishing. So that's why I like to go through the form first myself and then set this up with myself as the lead, so I can make sure all this works before I go live running traffic to it. So, and I'm just going to say, I usually just name it, whatever the loan officer's. So it's Dylan, whatever his name is, Dylan, text to leads app, whatever. Name it whatever you want, and then you just turn it on. And there you go, and it's done. Now you have it set up so that anytime someone fills out the form, then they will automatically get that text that we just got done setting up. It's really that simple. So I'm going to go through in the next video an advanced feature of that continues on with this text. And we'll look at how to take this to the next level. So, all right, with that, I'll see you in the next video. All right, here we go to video 3. This is a continuation, basically of video 2 of the process that we just completed with Zapier and Callfire and Wufoo, connecting all that. So basically what we did is a lead submits out, they fill out the form, and they get to the thank you page. So the Wufoo form has been submitted. The loan officer receives an email, with all the leads information. You receive an email because you BCC'd yourself, so you see all the information. What we did is we set up using Zapier. We went ahead and grabbed the leads information from Wufoo, and we sent them a text after 5 minutes. We set up a 5-minute delay, and then we send them a text through Callfire, using our call tracking kind of setup. So now what happens is they get that text. Now remember, in the text we asked them a question, right? So what was it here? Hey, lead name, blah, blah, blah. I got your answers. Everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? So what's the next logical step? The next logical step is that they would text you back, right? So Callfire, it's a call tracking setup. So if someone calls remember this is the call tracking number I bought for this, that's what's right here. So if someone calls this number, if the lead does call this number, it's going to forward to the LO's phone, right? If someone texts this number, it doesn't automatically forward. So I have the LO's number in Callfire, so if someone calls, it rings the LO's number. If someone texts this number, it doesn't automatically get to the LO's number, even though I have it set up in the forwarding. What will end up happening is you will get the text via email. You'll get an email notification saying someone just texted this number, because your information is on the account. So they're texting reply back to the text they get, but you'll get an email saying, hey, someone just texted. So there's a way around that. There's a way that you can set up CallFire so that if someone responds to that text, you can have it forward to someone else. So what does that mean? It means, let the LO know that you're doing that. Just tell them, hey, it's part of this process. We're going to help, facilitate the contact process. They'll be fine with that. But you want to tell them, because here's the deal. So when you tell them what you're saying in the text, what you're going to do is you're going to set up their information so that if someone responds back to that text, it goes to the LO and they'll know what's going on. If that makes sense, right? So let's just look at what this is. So below this video, there's going to be a button you can press to get to this page in CallFire. It's not something that you can just find. I had to work with CallFire support to get this all set up. So what I walk you through is not just readily available, and not too many people even know it exists. So what we're doing is we're going to further automate the process and remove us from this process. So if someone sends a text back to our automated text, the LO will get an email with the response. So if they say, yeah, tomorrow at 8 a.m. is a great time to chat, instead of, you'll still get a notification saying, hey, someone texted, but the LO will too, so that they can take it from there. So you don't have to forward emails to them. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, then feel free to drop a question in the Facebook group. But here's what we're going to do. Again, you're going to click the button below the link. There's going to be below the video. It's going to take you to this API page. What we got to do is we got to play around with CallFire's API. But I promise you it's very simple. Right? There's only a few things we're going to fill out. So we're going to go to subscription. You're just going to click it to make sure these are showing. And we're going to go post subscription. You're just going to click that. And you see over here, creates a new subscription for CallFire event notifications. So all we're going to do is we're going to click that to set up a new one. Right? So all these crazy fields. We're just going to look at a couple things. Okay, so we create subscription. All we're going to do is come down to enabled, make it true. We're going to go to endpoint. Okay, so endpoint, this is the email. So you can see here, the email that you want the event sent to. So here you're going to put the loan officer's email. Put their email address here. Whatever email that they want. It's probably the same one that they're getting the Wufoo leads to, right? It's probably the same one that they want the notification. That way, whenever the text comes in, the text will be put into an email format and emailed to the LO. So this is the email that the text information will go to. So you're going to put the loan officer's email right in here, right? So the notification format is going to be an email. Right? The trigger event is going to be inbound text. So inbound text finished. So after an inbound text is finished to the number that we're going to specify, the text will actually be put into an email and emailed to this email address. That's all that's happening right here. Right? So we're going to go to, all right, so trigger event. Okay, and then the to number. So this is the call tracking number, right? So we're just going to go here. Okay. Now understand it needs to be put into regular format. So watch what happens here. We need to remove the dashes, right? We need to remove all the little symbols and add a 1 in front, right? All right. So this is the call tracking number. So basically, all we're doing is any inbound text to our call tracking number, put the text in an email, and send it to this email address, right? So I'm going to put in one of my emails so we can just look at it. Okay, I'm going to do try it out. See down here, just try it out. Oh, I'm not logged in. Okay. Sorry, I'm not logged in. All right, so let's hold on one sec. I'll pause and get back in here. Okay, so basically I hit the test, got logged in, and it created this little code down here. And then all I did was go and take a peek. I actually just went ahead and sent a text just to double check because it didn't send something right away. So I went ahead and sent a text. I went over to my email, and there it is. This subject came in. You received a text from. It'll be the phone number. That's mine. And then you received a text message, and then here it is, text testing this, right? So bottom line is, once you set this up, the loan officer, when the text message goes out to the referral, if they respond back, it'll automatically get emailed to the loan officer. So then they can take over from there. And what they'll do is they'll just, they'll get into their phone and just text, they'll see what number it came from and just text the lead directly with their phone number in their phone. That way they're just connected and they're not going through CallFire anymore at that point. And then it's an actual natural engagement. So they'll either text or call. So yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. But again, follow the link below this video to get to the API screen, and then just walk through and set up like we just did in the video. You'll rewatch it, obviously go through and just watch it, but it's really just like 4 fields you're filling out, and yeah, and that's how you connect it. And then you got essentially complete automation by using text through the Zapier connection with Wufoo and CallFire. So, all right. So with that, we'll look next real quick on what an email notification looks like. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. All right. So we just got done setting up a text notification. What we want to do now is we actually also want to set up an email notification. So we just keep it very simple. We just send an email basically at the same time we would send the text. So we don't try to be all crazy with it and try to stagger it and all that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, so the referral, they submit their information, Wufoo goes through Wufoo, and Wufoo sends you a notification, hey, lead just came in, loan officer gets the lead. We set up the zap for the text. So 5 minutes after that lead comes in, Zapier will automatically send a text through CallFire to the lead, asking them, hey, it all looks good. When's a good time to chat? We're also going to kind of duplicate that via email. So let's look what that looks like. Let's make a zap. All right, so this time is Wufoo again, right? So lead comes in every time when there's a new entry on our form. Here's, Wufoo account. Okay, I'm going to grab the form again. Okay, I grabbed the form. Go ahead and fetch and continue. It's going to grab the lead info again. Okay, we can view our entry to make sure it's the same. Yep, still me again. Good to go. Where's that? Here, continue. Okay, so for this one, all right, again, there's a million ways to do this. Actually, let's do this right the first time. Let's go ahead and go and delay. We're going to delay again. Delay for, let's going to set up another 5-minute delay. Minutes. Okay, continue. Okay, yep, create and continue. Okay, let's add another step. Okay, so we got the 5-minute delay. Now we want to send an email. All right, so again, million ways to do this. You can actually connect to an autoresponder, like Drip or Aweber or MailChimp. There's a bunch of different email responders that you can set them to. So you can add them to a list and have like the first email go out right away. What we're going to do is keep this very simple, and we're just going to use Zapier's email function. So understand there's other things we can be doing. We can add them to a list. We can do a bunch of different things. For us, what we're going to do is, in this instance, we're just going to send them one email via Zapier, right? So we're going to use this Zapier built-in app here. Go to email. Okay, send outbound email. All right, so two is very simple. We're just going to grab the email of the lead, right? So I'm going to select it. And here it is, the email, right? So it's just going to pull the email. Subject. I usually just say your your home loan. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't usually say that. I usually try to make sure that no spam filters kind of fly, so I don't like to use the word loan or mortgage when I'm sending this stuff. So your home, what do I usually say? Your home pre-approval quiz. There's a couple different variations you use, but bottom line is we're just trying to, your home pre-approval quiz is one I use. Another one we use is, I received your answers. Another one is the form you just submitted. Just test it. Test it with whatever it is you want to do. Because we find various ones get different responses. Bottom line is just go ahead, feel free to test that. Body is pretty much the same thing. Hey, name, right? So we're going to pull the name here in just a second. I received, actually I pretty much copy the same thing, right? So paste it in. So with whatever. Got your answer, you submit a line, everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? Sincerely, the loan officer's name. Let's just change this to about your pre-approval quiz. Okay, hey name, so let's change that, right? We want that to be the name of the referral. Yeah, I'll select that here. Here it is. All right, first name. This is Dylan. With Sunshine Mortgage. Okay, got the answer you submitted online, everything looks great, blah, 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 good to go. From name, we always put the LOs. We'll just say Dylan. You can put their last name too. Dylan Taylor. Reply to. Here we're going to put the loan officer email. So this is different than the text. This one, if they actually do respond, it'll go to whatever email you put here. That way it just naturally picks up, just naturally. So if they respond to the email, they'll go ahead and just get it right here. So there's no like crazy thing you have to do like we did with CallFire. And then you can, blank CC yourself on this email. Again, I would make sure I wouldn't add yourself to the CC. Make sure that you're always hiding yourself from the conversation. Remove yourself from the interaction. You're just kind of there to check, make sure everything's working right. You're not there to engage with anybody, so you don't want your information showing anywhere. But if you want to get a copy of each email that goes out, which again, it's just going to look just like this, then put yourself into BCC. All right, so other than that, all right, that's it. Let's go ahead and hit continue. All right, should go off correctly. So let's create and continue. And what I'll do is look at the view your outbound email. Oh, all right, let me just check my email real. Okay, let me just forward it to this other email that I already have open. Okay, so here we are. I just kind of forwarded over here. So we have, so here from Dylan Taylor, right? It just shows Zapier email. That's fine, no big deal. Here's the date, whatever. About your pre-approval quiz. This is, obviously to the lead's name. Hey, Jason, Dylan with Sunshine Mortgage. You got the answer you submit online. Everything looks great. When's a good time to chat? Sincerely, Dylan. If I replied to this email, it would go right to the email of the loan officer, right? So that's it. I mean, it's really that simple. And again, so I'm just going to hit finish, and I'm just going to name it. So Dylan, lead email zap. just so we know what it is. I'm going to turn it on, and boom, all done. That's it. So right there, we just created a we just kind of completed the process. Honestly, we just created the email notification 5 minutes after it comes in. So we have our funnel, our landing page set up, right? So landing page is all set up. Our domain's connected. Everything's good to go. We got our Wufoo form embedded. Someone fills it out. We get the notification. The loan officer gets the notification with all the leads information that they just filled out. Then we just set up a couple of zaps using Zapier, so that 5 minutes after the lead submits it, ideally the lead calls right away. More times than not, they won't. So we need to engage them. So 5 minutes after they submit their form, then they'll get the text that Zapier automatically makes happen. And they'll also get the email that Zapier automatically makes happen. So we kind of ping them twice, as if the loan officer's like, hey, let me shoot these guys a quick email, and then also, heck, I'm going to go ahead and just text them right away too. No big deal. We also set up CallFire with the API so that if someone responds to the text and says, hey, you know what, tomorrow at 8 a.m. is a good time to talk, the loan officer will get an email with that text information in it. And so they'll get that right away. So I don't need to do anything. I don't need to forward an email. The loan officer will get it. They can engage right away. If the lead doesn't respond via the text, but they do, they'll still get the email and they decide to respond there, that email will go right, if they reply to it, it'll go right to the loan officer as well. So then he can pick up from there. And it's, again, I'm out of the picture. I'm just there to monitor and make sure everything's working correctly, right? So that's it. I mean, we got it good. We got the whole system in place. Again, there's definitely more advanced stuff that we can be doing, and that sometimes we do. That's stuff that we, can talk about on calls. We can talk about in the Facebook group and whatnot. But this right here, this formula that we just walked through and got to this point and got set up is literally all we really start with any new loan officer client. And it's extremely successful. So you don't need to get too crazy with all these, but with all this other stuff that's out there. Just stick with this stuff. It's already proven, it already works, and then you can build from there. So in the next lesson, essentially, we're getting into the traffic. Now we're going to start sending. Now we're going to start getting referrals, right? We're going to learn how to get them. The next source is Facebook. We're going to head to Facebook and start driving traffic to our pages here. So, all right, with that, we'll see you in the next videos.